Hello. Let me try that. I'm fighting with the lighting today because this is this good. This seems a little too bright for it. Let's start there and then we'll change if we need. So today I'm being a little ambitious because I'm doing a big one. It's because this is the paper I found available. So I started getting ready a little late today. So I'm a little stressed, but I believe that art can help with that. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try the limited palette because last week I need a moderator for my channel. Last week the sound was off and then the music was loud and all that. And I know there were a lot of questions and I couldn't answer. So let me see if this, oh, it works. So you could leave a comment. Let me see how I can open this. Oh, nice. Um, and I'll try this time to answer as much as I know. If I don't know, I'll just look it up in Google and I'll text you. um, I know that someone asked me that what colors I'm using in the limited palette and why. Well, this is a technique used mostly in oil painting, and it helps to develop that the technique of mixing colors. And I believe that these colors, most of the old painters use these colors. Even though I'm using watercolors, these colors tend to be like less bright, or I don't know. I think they look more natural. Today, since it's a big painting, I don't know if I'll finish it today, but I'll do like a overall wash. And when I have time, it's not this week because I have a lot of stuff this week. I'll I'll download the picture as I always do. So as always, you hear me say that I'm going to start with the background. In this picture, there's a black background, but I don't want that black. I've been going back and forth, but I'm going to try. Let me get a bigger brush because I need a big brush for this. This is a size 12. A round Simply Simon's brush, my favorites. Since this is big, well, I said that last week that I was gonna paint diagonally, but in this case, it's a little hard because when you paint in a slanted, I don't know if that's the correct word, you help the water run down, and you could like slide it side by side. It's harder when it's flat like this. You can do it, but it's better if you slant your picture a little bit. Let me see if I can do it. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but maybe a bit. Bit. I already have it taped, so maybe a tiny bit. Let me see. Maybe if I put this under, yes, I think that will do. It will move a little bit, and I think it's like a little closer to the camera. Well, I was saying that the background is black, but in a limited color palette, you could add a little black if you need it or white. But I try not. I'm gonna go to with the indigo blue on the background, and if I don't like it, then I'll go with the black on top of on the second layer or third layer. But let's start with the blue. So I'm gonna for this kind of painting, it's good to have a palette because we're trying to mix colors. We're using four colors this time. And I don't know what I was gonna say. Um, so you need a palette. I love this blue. I would say the same thing, but so in this palette, I'm able to like mix a lot of water and pink. So let's see if we could go with that. And as I say, since it's slanted, I think that's the word, I don't know. It helps go faster. So you have to go moving that water to the side. You see that drop there? It's good. Try to go fast. I really like that blue. Good thing I made that decision. Wow, looks nice. It's very important you have those drops there so it doesn't dry and make a hard line. Try to go fast. That's why when you have a painting, especially if it's big, you have to have like a plan. So I try. This time it wasn't I didn't have a much time, but you have to look at it, make decisions, know which paint you're gonna use so you could work fast, especially in the first layers. See here. So this blue is quite light now, but I think I'll have another layer when it dries completely. Oops, start. See here, I may have a hard edge because it dried. It's okay because we could go back. We could go back with another layer. Let's tweak it there. I think we're finished in this side and here. Mm, let's go off blue. Remember, we're not trying to make a photograph. If you want, you could try that, but that's not my intention. We use a picture as a reference, as inspiration. So let's go to this side. See, in that corner I see a little bit yellow. So let me go like deeper here. I don't like this here. So and I think it's quite, so I could start with this flower. And we have, this is the yellow or ochre. Let's see the light. I like it like this, but I think it's gonna get dark. So, ooh, there's blue there. Mm-mm. I don't want a green, so that's why you need two waters. But it's me. So we're gonna paint the whole flower yellow, yellow ochre, and then we'll go with the details afterwards. So we do the same thing. We try, we use, my professor always said that you should mix more than you think you need. Because look, I finished with that, and now I need more. But since this is not a mixed color, it's okay. But when you mix, you need to do a lot. Maybe a bit. I need a bigger palette for a drawing like this. So we finished with that one. This one here is yellow too. It's almost the same yellow, so let's go there. And these two flowers, they're like a very light yellow, but I'm going to make them like a very light green, very, 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 very watered down. This here. So I'm gonna add a little of this glue. I'm gonna risk it. And let's water that down completely. Yeah, I think that's doesn't have to be the whole flower. So let me go like with the center part. We water it down more. Now I want to do darker green, more like a blue and yellow. Because we have this, that's green. And it's already dry, so we could go over that. First layer, and I have a similar green here. Mm-hmm. That one's still wet, so I'll wait. So we can now go, I think I'll do some lines using that green inside the flower. Right here. It's like shadows we have there. You're welcome. And you see, I still have like, well, this is a big picture. Maybe I need like a bigger brush. You can see like a little separation there. But I think it looks nice because it's a background. But I would do like another layer because I need it to be darker because I'm not using black. So I really want a very dark blue. It may be like 3 layers. I tend to go very light when I need to go dark. So it's something I have to practice. Is practice, practice, practice. Everything, every time I do maybe pottery or any painting, I always see all the mistakes. I'm very critic of what I do. But I think that's the way you should love your work, but at the same time, you should know where you can improve. So I always look where what I can learn and where I could do better. I'm going in every leaf and making the shadows, like those lines there. Our brain can say they're yellow, but they're not yellow. If you look closely, and they're not gray. So, and we have a limited palette. So green, I think, is the closest. At first, when you are like in this stage, you think everything is ugly, and you tend to just give up. But I've learned that when you keep on doing, and I always tell people that you should finish it even if you don't like it, because at the end you will know if it's really ugly or if it's just yourself criticizing yourself. You know, and we still have like the reds and the oranges, so it will get better. And it's very important to start with a good drawing. I don't think this drawing is like perfect because I did it rushed, but good thing is that flowers are organic and they would, I forgive you. Flowers are forgiving, not like us humans, right? Here, it's very dark. And I think this is dry, so I could give it another layer. For the next layer here, I'll go with darker details. Because here you see it has a dark green and it goes darker on this side. Mhm. See some shadows. Okay. So now I'm gonna risk it all. I'm going with what color is this? This is scarlet. And here, let me see if it's done yet. I haven't mixed colors. Well, I mixed the greens. True. Let me see if we need to mix this. This is a very bright orange, almost red. I don't know if the camera, it looks like lighter in the camera, but it's very bright. Sometimes when you have like little details that go like in this area. You don't have to go like dot by dot. You have to like create an illusion of what you're supposed to be seeing. So I'm gonna do a very light layer of orange and then I'll go with some details. Let's see how that goes. I don't think that's very light, so more water. I like how these four colors combine. They look serious. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we make. It's like trying to draw a tree and try to make like every little leaf. You just do the shape you see outside and then go with some details. So let me put more water here. And now I'm going into the petals. I don't know if you see it, but we have like, it looks like a reflection, a little bit of orange in every petal from the place it meets with the center. It could be a little lighter. So, well, you have to have in mind that watercolor tends to get lighter when it's dry. So you know that when it dries, you need to layer again and again. I need it to be lighter. Let's see. See, in this stage, I think it looks very ugly, but you have to be patient. Well, I don't know if I have a soft hand, but I think it's starting with a light layer and then going with the deep. It's you need patience for watercolor, so you need to start very light. Unless you're like very secure, you just go in and. But I'm never really secure, so I start with a light touch on a very light layer and go from there. Here, it's taking the tip. These down here are very orange. Because it's like part of the shadowing, I think. Yeah. He's like very, very, very red. So let's go with a little more pink. It's getting darker here. And this one here is like, whoa. Oh, to get that hard line off. I really like that petal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's looking good. So I'm going with the yellow again. So I could add like details. Okay, I could go with the brown. No, let me go with the yellow. Let's see, try this. This is risky, so still right there. Let me add some brown. Hold on, not too sure. Yes, I like that color. Should good. And I'm going with the orange again. With some brown. It's not really brown, that's burnt sienna. Get some in there. Hmm. That's what I want. I have another brush. Let me get this brush. This This says number 8, but I think it's smaller than a number 8. Could be like a number 4. I don't know. I should do that when it dries. Yep, good idea. It's really dark in this part. So I'm gonna let these this yellow dots here dry so I could put the little they have like a little lines here brown. Just let it dry. We have a lot of shadow here, so let's go back. So I'm gonna let this dry so I could go with more details on that one because it needs like a little more red. And we could go to this little between here. The same thing. It has like little red shadowing in the bottom of the petal. Ooh. Remember that I said that the colors would dry lighter. So it's better to wait till it's completely dry and you give it another layer. I'm just gonna do this layer and then when it dries a bit, I'll finish maybe tomorrow because this is a big one. But I hope the tips I've given you will help you when you try to experiment. And maybe in the next live, you could I'll do a easier one next week, but you could get your paints and you could paint with me. That's the whole idea. And in the meantime, this week, you could go to my Etsy shop and I've been downloading some ceramics I've done over the last years. And if you like something, you could buy it and you could share the page with others. So I would like to give a little touch to these. Then we could break for today. So if you just tune in, maybe the colors don't match those of the picture because we're using a limited palette. And with a limited palette, you have to do everything you can with the colors you have. And with watercolors, it's a big challenge. So here we are. I think the light doesn't help. It seems brighter without the colors. I need to put this lamp someplace else. Next week I'll figure that out. And here we have like a yellow space. Let me see without the light. If it looks, it's like too bright. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to put it, but I'll figure that out for you guys. I think I'm gonna leave it there because I need it to dry. I will try to work like little grays here. It could be blue. I really like blue. And you can see the shadow on this leaf is light green. Sometimes we think that shadows are white and black mixed together, but if you look well, I don't know if the picture, if you can see, there's like an edge there. It looks yellow. It's not gray because it's the shadow plus the reflection of these petals. So yeah, I hope you like all the tips I just gave. I'm a bit tired. Um, I'll work on this week when I have the time after I do all my homework, and I'll send you guys a picture. Thank you for tuning in. See you next Monday.